In this video, I'll be going over the top 10 rock type Pokemon in Pokemon GO. These are some of the toughest and most powerful Pokemon in the game. Some rock types have very few counters, and most have very strong offensive capabilities. While there aren't too many rock types that are top tier, the ones that are will certainly help you excel in several areas of the game. Rock types are phenomenal against ice types, flying types, fire types, and bug types. Thus, it's imperative that you have a few really good ones in your collection. This list will tell you which ones you should go for. Now, if you end up enjoying this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that little bell so you stay up to date on whenever I upload videos like this one. So yeah, with that said, let's get right into the list. Number 10, Aggron. The first rock type to make this list is probably going to be the most controversial because of its inclusion. While Aggron is not necessarily favored among the Pokemon GO community for a variety of reasons, it is still a decent one to use in a plethora of different situations. While it is likely best not to be used in raids, it can be a decent gym defender since it has very bulky defense and health stats. On top of that, this Pokemon does have a Mega Evolution that can be useful in the future. Given that it is both a rock type and a steel type, the damage bonus that it can bring as a Mega Evolved Pokemon cannot be understated. While it may not be relevant for raids now, it could certainly be a must-have Pokemon later down the road, once its Mega Evolution is released. At number 9, we have Regirock. This rock-type legendary Pokemon is very often underestimated. While it is not meta by any means, it is still a very powerful rock type that you can use in raids and gym battles. Of course, plenty of other rock types will be better than Regirock in most situations, but this Pokemon is still worth using if you don't have a better one to use. Regirock, like all of the other Regis, has very good defensive stats as well. So if you are looking to last longer in raids, gym battles, and Team Go Rocket battles in order to save potions and revives, this is a solid Pokemon to use in that circumstance. Now coming in at number 8, it is Aerodactyl. This flying and rock type Pokemon is a classic. It's not necessarily top tier on its own, but it can be a key Pokemon to use once Mega Evolved. Since there aren't too many rock type Mega Evolutions currently in the game, the value of this Pokemon is really high for raids. However, it is unfortunately not future-proof. Thus, if better rock type Mega Evolutions eventually get released, this Pokemon may fall into irrelevance. Until then, it is a solid rock type to have. Now coming in at number 7, we have Tyrantrum. This Pokemon is one of the newest additions to Pokemon GO, and it is very much deserving to be on this list. While we don't know what impact it will have on raids and PvP, what we do know is that it has great stats and moves, alongside a very unique duo typing of Rock and Dragon. Let's start with its stats. Tyrantrum has really high attack, but fairly low defense and HP. This means it will likely be the most useful in raids, while also being pretty useless in the Go Battle League. It could possibly be a solid gym attacker as well. It will fall off in terms of raid damage compared to other dragon types and even rock types, but it is still decent enough where it could be worth using. One other thing that's notable about Tyrantrum is the crazy move pool that it comes with. It has fairy type attacks, dark type attacks, dragon type attacks, and of course, rock type attacks. This gives it a lot of versatility, and it can be useful in a plethora of different situations. Needless to say, you should absolutely get this Pokemon. At number 6, we have the Go Battle League powerhouse, Bastiodon. Bastiodon is exclusively only good for the Go Battle League, specifically in the Great League. However, it is an absolute top tier Pokemon for the Great League with very little counters. While certain Pokemon could handedly deal with Bastiodon, such as Medicham and Swampert, it is still an absolute menace that will net you plenty of wins. The other nice thing about Bastiodon is that it is extremely versatile. You can give it a variety of different moves that you can use to cover your other Pokemon on your team. That is something you should consider when using this Pokemon. It's one of the best supporting members in the game. Number 5, Lycanroc. This rock-type Pokemon from the Alola region is iconic for several reasons. This Pokemon can be a very powerful non-legendary raid attacker. While most players will want the midnight version of this Pokemon, it's actually the midday version that deals more damage over time. Now at the time that I made this video, the dusk version of this Pokemon wasn't released yet. It's possible that this version of Lycanroc will reign supreme. Until then, the midday version of Lycanroc is the one you will want. Number 4. Terrakion. The legendary fighting and rock-type Pokemon Terrakion comes next on this list. This Pokemon is the quintessential A-tier rock-type. It may not be the absolute best in terms of raid damage or PvP, but it's pretty dang close. Terrakion is extremely well-rounded. It has a lot of offensive power, yet is also bulky as well. The one key benefit to this Pokemon is of course the duo typing of rock and fighting. This makes it extremely versatile and also a really strong heavy hitter. You can give it rock type moves in order to deal with several raids that are weak against it, or you can give it fighting type moves to deal with some of the heaviest gym defenders. While it may not be a good Pokemon for the Go Battle League, it can still be a solid option for pretty much everywhere else. It doesn't get outclassed very often, but when it does, the difference in power is barely noticeable. If you are lacking in good rock types, then Terrakion is most certainly a good option. Number 3. Rampardos. This Pokemon is by far the hardest hitting rock type on this list. Aside from Mega Evolutions, Rampardos is going to be your highest damage rock type for raids. It has the powerful move combination of Smackdown and Rock Slide, and it also comes with a wide variety of type coverage moves as well. These include Flamethrower, Outrage, and Zen Headbutt. However, you are probably better off giving it Smackdown and Rock Slide, as it will be your best damage dealer in terms of rock types. Anytime you need a rock type Pokemon in raids or gym battles, Rampardos is going to be your best bet. The one caveat with this Pokemon is of course the fact that it is a glass cannon. It will not last long in most raid battles, but it will certainly deal a ton of damage before getting knocked out. One final advantage of this Pokemon is just how easy it is to get compared to the rest. In cloudy weather and rock-themed events like Adventure Week, the pre-evolved form Cranidos are pretty common. Thus, this Pokemon is one of those that you are likely going to have no trouble at all maxing out, and I highly suggest you do if and when you can, because it is definitely worth it. Okay, now coming in at number 2, it is Rhyperior. Now here is a Pokemon that you should have expected on this list. Rhyperior is an extremely well-rounded Pokemon with a ton of different uses. Not only is it a top-tier raid attacker, but it can defend gyms really well, can handle Team Go Rocket leaders with ease, and it is a phenomenal Master League Pokemon on top of it. Ever since it was featured in a community day, it has certainly made an impact in almost every area of Pokémon GO. It has so many capabilities from an offensive and defensive point of view, and it has very few counters due to its duo typing. You can also roll with a variety of different moves to cater to your specific needs. If you want to bring Rhyperior to the Go Battle League, you can give it great type coverage with Earthquake, Rock Wrecker, Surf, or Super Power. Depending on what league you are in and what the meta currently is, Rhyperior's versatility will make it reliable. If you need either a ground type or a rock type in raids, this Pokemon can be useful in either scenario. It has the unique benefit of having very powerful fast and charge attacks for both of these types, meaning this Pokemon can be the one Pokemon you can use for a wide variety of gameplay. Let's also not forget just how strong this Pokemon is in terms of stats. It has a reasonably high attack stat while also boasting a very good defense and health stat as well. Overall, this Pokemon is extremely good, and you should get one with high IVs as soon as possible. Alright, finally we made it to our number 1 spot, and what else could it be other than Tyranitar? You knew this Pokemon was coming. Having a top rock type list without including Tyranitar as the number 1 spot would be blasphemous. Not only is this Pokemon iconic within the Pokemon GO community, but it is one of the best and most useful rock types that you can have. While it may get edged out in terms of raid damage by Rampardos, or be less useful in the Go Battle League next to Rhyperior, there is no question that this is still one of the most useful Pokemon to have. It can very easily be your number one option for raid bosses that are weak against ground and dark types, and it is one of those Pokemon that can be an absolute menace against gym defenders. Considering that plenty of raid bosses and the most common gym defenders are weak against these types, you are likely going to find out just how useful this Pokemon is. While you will likely never use this Pokemon in PvP, you are most certainly going to use this Pokemon everywhere else. Let's also not forget that it can Mega Evolve in the future, which should catapult it to the number one spot across the board. Needless to say, if you have yourself a Tyranitar with solid IVs, you most certainly should power it up as high as possible. It very much will be one of your best Pokemon in this game. So there you have it, these were the top 10 best rock types in Pokemon Go. Now even though there aren't too many top tier rock types, there's certainly going to be one or two that you feel should have been included on this list. So let me know down below in the comments, what is one rock type that you feel should have been mentioned? Let me know down below and let's have a great discussion. Once again, if you enjoyed this video and found it to be informative, then be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget the bell so you stay notified on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support my channel in any way, then do consider checking out the links in the description below. Anyway, that's going to be it. I'm Count Jinsula, be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.